Bismillah, alhamdulillah, as-salatu was-salamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We will continue with the topic of Hamzatul Wasl, and today, inshallah, we will discuss when Hamzatul Wasl and Hamzatul Qat'a come together in one word. And this meeting of Hamzatul Qat'a with Hamzatul Wasl can occur in two different ways. The first one is when Hamzatul Wasl comes before Hamzatul Qat'a, like this. So Hamzatul Wasl is before Hamzatul Qat'a. When Hamzatul Wasl comes before Hamzatul Qat'a, we change Hamzatul Qat'a into a mad letter that is compatible to the vowel of Hamzatul Wasl. This only occurs in the few places in the Quran. If you take this example, you see the first letter is Hamzatul Wasl. The second letter is not lam, so we move on to the third letter to find out the vowel of Hamzatul Wasl. Because third letter has Dhamma, we will put Dhamma with Hamzatul Wasl. So in this case, Hamzatul Wasl will have a Dhamma. Now, as we have decided the vowel of Hamzatul Wasl, we will see what is compatible with this vowel. So if you see here, Alif is compatible with Fatha, Ya is compatible with Kasra, Waw is compatible with Dhamma. Because we are going to put Dhamma on Hamzatul Wasl, so compatible mad letter with this vowel, Dhamma is letter Waw. So this is the way we will recite it. Utumina. Instead of saying Utumina, we will say Utumina. So when we are going to start from Hamzatul Wasl in all these examples, we will follow two steps. First, decide the vowel and then change the sakin Hamzatul Qat'a into a mad letter which is compatible to the vowel of Hamzatul Wasl. If we see another example in this case, the first letter is Hamzatul Wasl. The second letter is not lam. We move on to the third letter. The third letter has a fatha. We will put kasra under Hamzatul Wasl. So because Hamzatul Wasl has a kasra, so the compatible mad letter with kasra is ya, as written right here. So we will change this Hamzatul Qat'a in the mad letter ya, and we will recite it like this. Idhana, idhana. In all of these cases, we will change Hamzatul Qat'a into a mad letter which is compatible to the vowel of Hamzatul Wasl. In this case, we will say utumina, idana, itana, itu, ituni, because in itu and ituni and other rule kicks in, and now we will see what exactly is that. In case of these two words, the third letter ta has a dhamma, but this dhamma is not original. This dhamma is conditional because of the mad letter waw, because we cannot have kasra before a mad letter waw. So this dhamma is conditional and this is not original. Originally, if you see the origin of these words, the letter ta has a kasra. Because of letter waw, for the ease of recitation, letter ta has a conditional dhamma. So because the origin of the word has a kasra here, we will put kasra under Hamzatul Wasl. So the mad letter which is compatible with kasra is ya mad. So we will recite it like this. Ituni, itu. Because in these two cases, the dhamma here is not original, it is conditional. So when we are going to start with Hamzatul Wasl, we will put kasra under Hamzatul Wasl and recite it like this. Ituni, itu. But in this example, Tumina, Dhamma is original. So we don't have to change this one. And that's why this Hamzatul Wasl will have Dhamma and we will say Tumina. And this one, Itu. So don't confuse here that this ta have Dhamma and this ta both have Dhamma. If in this situation we are saying Itu, so why we are not saying Itumina in this case? Because this Dhamma is original, while Dhamma in Itu and Ituni is not original. That's why this Hamzatul Wasl will have Kasra and this Hamzatul Wasl in Utumina will have Dhamma. So this one is ituni when you are reciting, starting from Hamzatul Wasl. This example, itu, when you are starting from Hamzatul Wasl, ituni, itu, itana, idana, utumina. And this only occurs in the few places in the Quran, but some of these words can come in the Quran in different forms. Although if you are reciting these words and you join them with whatever is before them, in that case, you will not drop Hamzatul Qat'a and you will not change into a mad letter. If you see in this example, if I'm reciting from Alladhi, in that case, I will not change Hamza into a mad letter. In fact, I will join letter Dal with letter Hamza and I will recite it like this. Alladhi tumina, Alladhi tumina. I will not change Hamzatul Qat'a in any mad letter. In this case, yaqulu dhina. I will join lam with letter Hamzatul Qat'a and I will not change Hamza into a mad letter. In this case, thumma dhina. Thumma dhina. I will not change Hamzatul Qat'a into any mad letter. So when Hamzatul Wasl comes before Hamzatul Qat'a, we change Hamzatul Qat'a into a mad letter, and that mad letter should be compatible to the vowel of Hamzatul Wasl. But in case of continuation, when we are joining these words with whatever is before them, in that case, we will not change Hamzatul Qat'a into any mad letter. Rather, we will join the letter coming before it with Hamzatul Qat'a, and that's how we will recite it. When Hamzatul Wasl and Hamzatul Qat'a can come together in a word, the other condition is when Hamzatul Qat'a comes before Hamzatul Wasl. So Hamzatul Qat'a, when comes before Hamzatul Wasl, it always has a fatha, and this is a questioning Hamza. So when the questioning Hamzatul Qat'a comes before Hamzatul Wasl, this situation can come in both verbs and nouns. And inshallah, we will discuss them both. When Hamzatul Qat'a comes before Hamzatul Wasl in verbs, we drop Hamzatul Wasl in writing and pronunciation both. And only letter remains in the word is Hamzatul Qat'a, the questioning Hamza. If you see in these examples, and these are some of the examples, if you see the word attakhadhtum, actually the origin of the word is like this. Hamzatul Qat'a before Hamzatul Wasl, and then you see letter ta. So in the copies of the Quran, in our Mus'haf, these words are written like this with Hamzatul Qat'a only, and there is no Hamzatul Wasl in writing. In this case, the word is at-tala'a, but originally this word is Hamzatul Qat'a, then Hamzatul Wasl, and then letter ta. In this case, the word is written like this in the Quran, aftara, but originally there is Hamzatul Qat'a, and after that there is Hamzatul Wasl, and then letter fa. So all of these words originally starts with Hamzatul Wasl, but when questioning Hamza enter into these words, we drop Hamzatul Wasl in writing and in pronunciation, and we only recite these words with Hamzatul Qat'a. And Hamzatul Qat'a will be read with the vowel that it carries, and in this case, it is always going to be Fatha. The other case is when Hamzatul Qat'a comes before Hamzatul Wasl in nouns. When a questioning Hamzatul Qat'a comes before a noun and that noun starts with al, lam at-ta'rif, that has Hamzatul Wasl before it. In that case, we have to change certain things in order to avoid this confusion whether the fatha that we are reciting is the fatha from Hamzatul Wasl or the fatha of Hamzatul Qat'a. Because if the second letter after Hamzatul Wasl is lam, Hamzatul Wasl will always have fatha. And because this is a questioning Hamza coming before Hamzatul Wasl, this will always have a fatha. In order to avoid the confusion, if the fatha that was recited is from Hamzatul Wasl or from Hamzatul Qat'a, we change certain things. If you look into this example, and in order to recite, if I join Hamzatul Qat'a with letter Dal, I will say الذكرين. And if somebody is not looking at this word, they might think that I am reciting this word starting from Hamzatul Wasl. If you choose to recite this word after Hamzatul Qat'a, you will say al-dhakarain. But if Hamzatul Wasl remains there and you start your recitation from Hamzatul Qat'a, in that case, you will say al-dhakarain. So in both cases, they sound exactly the same. So in order to distinguish between Hamzatul Qata'a and Hamzatul Wasl, we pronounce Hamzatul Wasl in two different ways, and both of these ways are allowed in Hafs and Asim, Tariqatu Shatibiya. And the first one is called Al-Ibdal. You change something, and what is that change? We will change Hamzatul Wasl into a mad letter, and this mad is maddul lazim. So far, we have not discussed the topic of mudud, but inshallah, once we will discuss that, you will know what is maddul lazim. But for now, just remember that this hamzatul wasl will change into a mad letter, and in this case, you will stretch it 6 counts. And this only occurs in these 3 words in the Quran, and they only come at 6 places. Because in Maddul Lazim, if a mad letter is followed by a shadda letter or a sakin letter, in both these cases, you will stretch this 6 counts. This is a compulsory mad or compulsory stretching, and you have to stretch this 6 counts. In the case of shadda, this maddul lazim is muthaqqal. In case of sakin letter, this is maddul lazim mukhaffaf. Inshallah, when we will reach in the topic of mudud, we will discuss this mad in details. But for now, only remember, when Hamzatul Qat'a comes before Hamzatul Wasl in nouns, we change Hamzatul Wasl into a mad letter, and this mad letter will be stretched 6 counts, and we will recite it like this. الذكرين الآن الله. As you can see, we change Hamzatul Wasl in a mad letter, and we give this mad 6 counts. The other way to recite these 3 words, which occurs only in 6 places in the Quran, is with tashil, at-tashil. Tashil means to recite something with ease. So in this case, you will not change Hamzatul Wasl into a mad letter. Rather, you will pronounce Hamzatul Wasl with ease. This is in between Hamza and Alif. You will not stretch this Alif like a mad letter, and you will not recite this like a Hamza. You will say الذكرين الآن الله. So the first Hamzatul Qat'a, you will recite with its vowel, and you will give all the rights to that letter, but you will change the pronunciation of this Hamzatul Wasl, which should be in between Hamza and Alif. We should not be stretching it like a mad letter, and we should be reciting it with ease. الذكرين الآن الله, like this. So all these 3 words can be recited with al-ibdal or tashil. We normally don't recite Hamzatul Wasl when we are connecting it with a previous letter or a word. But in this case, if we apply the same rule, the listener will be confused if the fatha that was recited is the fatha of Hamzatul Wasl or questioning Hamza. That's why we read these 3 words with tashil ibdal, and both of them are allowed in Hafsun Asim Tariqatu Shatibiya. And you can find these words in Surah Yunus, ayah number 51, 59, and 91, in Surah Al-Naml, ayah number 59, Surah Al-An'am, ayah number 143 and 144. Alhamdulillah, that is the end of our topic, Hamzatul Wasl. Inshallah, we will continue with the next topic in our next class. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.